आपको किसी चौथे में नहीं आया तो इस चीज़ को मुझे एहसास रहे कि हम कुछ ऐसा कर रहे हैं जो डायनामिक है. So that dynamism I will be able to pass to you when I see your dynamic faces. And the face becomes dynamic when it has got a smile on it. Okay, so throughout the program, मुस्कुराइएगा ज़रूर. Is that okay? Plus in between when I am going to take your response, kindly respond with energy. Very often I will ask you questions, and most of the questions which I will be asking you will be of the format of yes or no only. So if it is no, then say no. And if it is yes, what will you say? Yes. Yes. Do not say yes. You will say aha. What will you say? Aha. What will you say? Aha. Say loudly. Aha. So are you all ready for the program? Aha. Good morning. Good morning. I welcome you in this program called Unspoken Messages of Mahabharata. But I believe this is incomplete name. I would like to give it a complete name. Unspoken Messages from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Why Ramayana and Mahabharata? Because you cannot discuss about Mahabharata if you do not discuss about Ramayana. To reach Ramayana, to reach Mahabharata, you have to go through a journey called Ramayana. Because when you enter into Mahabharata, you study a character called Krishna. You study a character called Krishna. But to understand Krishna, it is very important for you to understand Rama. Because handling Krishna alone is a dangerous issue. You cannot handle Krishna alone, you cannot understand Krishna alone if you do not have the understanding of Rama. And even if you know very well, Ram came first and then Krishna came. So Krishna is happening of Rama. We take it in this way. So Krishna is becoming of Rama. That means Rama, and then the process of evolution happened where Krishna came. Two dynamic personalities with totally different aspects. Rama is known as Mariyada Purshottam. Rama is known as Mariyada Purshottam, the man who followed every rule in his life. The man who entertained only one woman in his life. The man who was highly obedient to his father. The man who loved his brother, his family members, everybody who came in his touch. But when you look at another character called Krishna, we don't call him Mariyada Purshottam. Okay, the name which is given by the people who love and devotee of Krishna, they normally call Krishna as Leela Purshottam. What do they call him? Leela. So please understand two different personalities you want to study. One is called Mariyada Purshottam and second is called Leela. One man entertains only one woman in his life. The other entertains so many. Yes or no? Yes. Krishna is known for his gopis. Krishna is known for his many wives. Krishna is known for his many wives. One always follows the rule and one always breaks the rule. One always follows the rule and one always breaks the rule. Yet both are worshipped. Yet both are worshipped. So if you look at the personality of Rama and if you look at the personality of Krishna very deeply, you will come to know that Rama is an idol. He has got an approach towards life which is called an idealistic approach. But when you look at Krishna, Krishna has got an approach towards life which can be termed as a realistic approach. Which can be termed as a realistic approach. Why we call Rama Mariyada Purshottam? Let's go into the depth of it. Before that, let me give you a little more elaboration. Ram was high on principle and high on rules. Ram is a personality who is high on principle and high on rules. Whereas Krishna is a personality who is high on principle but low on rules. So Rama is a rule maker and rule follower. Krishna is a rule breaker. Krishna is a rule breaker. Why do we call Rama Mariyada Purshottam and why do we call Krishna Leela Purshottam? Let us try to understand. And when I am teaching you Ram and Krishna, kindly do not become very sentimental about these two characters, please. Okay? The whole issue of telling you about Ram and Krishna is to tell you that try to be like them. Okay? So if you say Ram is God, Krishna is God, he is very far from me, it's difficult for you to be like him. And the benefit of reading Ramayana and the benefit of reading Mahabharata is only when you aspire to be like them. Otherwise there is no benefit of reading these books if you don't try to be like them. So a small incident I will tell you and then you will come to know why we call Rama as Mariyada Purshottam. I will not tell you the story of Ramayana, I will not tell you the story of Mahabharata because honestly speaking many of you sitting there know the story better than you. Yes or no? Say aha. Loudly. by a guy called Rama. Somehow Rama was interested in Sita and he wanted to marry her. So one day he kidnapped her and took her to her kingdom, a beautiful kingdom in Lanka. But there was one boon with Ravana and there was one curse with Ravana. What was the curse? He could not touch any women without her permission. If he tries to touch the women without the permission of that woman, he would be immediately burned to ashes. That was a curse given to Ravana. And he had a boon also. And the boon was, he could take anybody's form. He could take anybody's form. Like if he wants to be like Kumbhakarna, he could be like Kumbhakarna. He wants to be like Rama, Lakshmana, any shape he could take. Ravan tried his best to convince Sita that marry me, I am better than Ram and I can give you all the luxuries and the aishwaryas of life which a woman craves for. But Sita was a kind of woman who would not entertain any other man except Ram, not even in her thoughts, not even in her dreams. So he tried his best, but every time he met with a failure. So one day after having a counseling with Sita, when he came back, one of his Mantri told Ravana, Ravana, what is it? Why are you wasting your time in useless counseling of Sita? We have been provided with a great boon that you can take anybody's form. So why don't you take the form of Rama and go to Sita? In the form of Rama, Sita will accept you because Sita entertains only one man in our life, and who is that? Rama smiled. He said, you as a Mantri thought about it. Do you think I have not thought about it? He said, yes, the way you thought that why not to take the form of Rama, I also tried once. And I took the form of, but in just taking the form of Rama, I could not think of entertaining any other woman and going to see. Can you understand? So the power of the character of Ram is so big that the moment Ravan took the form of Ram, he could not think of going to Sita and ask her for marriage. That is why we call Ram as, that is a degree of his character, that is a height of his character, that is a purity of his character, that the moment Ravan took form of Ram, he himself forgot that he is Ravan, and all that purity came in him, which is in Ram. Now let's talk about Krishna, why he is called Leela Purshottam. Once there was a ceremony going on where lot many swamis were over there. In between I tell you that आपको कोई story अच्छी लगे, so please applaud it, so that I can come to know that you all are sitting here fully alive. क्योंकि बीच में नींद आ जाती है जब अच्छी बात है, ये सिस्टम हमारा ऐसा है, तो आप सोए ना, इसलिए बीच में आप थोड़े से अपने हाथों को हिला लीजिएगा. And there are two benefits of it. Would you like to know? Yes, sir. One benefit is when you will be clapping, blood circulation will be very good. So the possibility is that in coming life you will not have heart attack. So the possibility of you living a long life is there. And second advantage is, if you clap, well and good. If you do not clap, so God will give you enough opportunity in the next birth to clap. You understand what you become? फिर आपको कुछ ऐसा होगा कि आपको भगवान का मौका देगा ताकि जाए. I want that you should give me this opportunity here, right? So once there was a congregation was going on and different swamis of different religion came over there and all were talking about their God. So one of the men sitting on the stage discussed a lot about Krishna. And once the speech got over, one of the person of a different religion stood up and he said, we know our God is a discipline. We know that our God is ethical. We know that our God has lived a kind of life in which he has suffered lot many pains, sacrificed a lot. So we love him and we worship him. But when we look at your God, he has got 18,000 and all these kind of wives, he has enjoyed his life and all that things he has done. So why should we worship him? So Swamiji with a smile asked that person who raised this question, that are you married? He said, yes, I am married. He said, how many wives do you have? He said, what do you mean by how many wives? I have what? One wife only. So he said, are you able to keep her happy? Is she happy with you? He said, every marriage has its own problems. Sometimes she is not and sometimes. He said, look, you have got one wife, you are not able to keep her happy. Krishna had so many wives and all were happy with him. So we worship Krishna, so we worship Rama. So Krishna is called Leela. Purshottam, and Ram is called Mariyada.